Hello to all my knights and queens of the world. You already know who it is. It's Mr. Royal Diamond, aka Mr.RoyalNieves, coming back at you with another phenomenal video. So my topic is a beautiful one, and it's basically God is always on time. Always. No matter what you go through in life, no matter what kind of heartache, betrayal, backstabbing, lies, deceit, no matter what you're going through now or what you've been through yesterday, before, God is always on time. You have to understand that God knows you more than you know yourself because He made you. God knows your life, your journey. He knows what you're going to go through. That's why He allows certain things and certain things He don't. You understand what I'm telling you? But this is what I mean. God is always faithful. God is always on time. God is always on time. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. It's like you wear these hats and become a little itchy. But yeah, God is always on time, And what I mean by that, it's like when you think that He's not gonna be there, He is. When you was going through your pain, your struggle, and you thought it was over, and you was just going through that journey of like redefinement, basically, because of your struggle and becoming and learning how to be, He was always there. You understand what I'm telling you? I say this because when I was going through like my own struggles, as I got older and more mature and wise and deep in my relationship with God, He allowed me to see, like by visions and understanding, and I mean things that still blows my mind to this day, how He was ever so present in the midst of my life, all of it, You are His child. There's nowhere you can go that He is not already there. You cannot just disappear from the palm of His hand. You understand what I'm telling you? People want to play this facade, like they want to show this kind of fake reality of themselves or this persona to the world, even to themselves. But you can never fool God. You can never fool Him. You know what I'm saying? That's why He wants you to come honestly, transparency. You know what I'm saying? Being truthful, being genuine, being humble. Because when you do that, now He sees and knows that you trust Him, and He can do His work in you. You understand what I'm telling you? So this is why it's so important to understand that God is always on time. So when you feel like, sometimes you may go through struggles in your life, but God is always there. You may have to go through a certain thing, but in the midst of that, God will send you peace, understanding. God will lighten the blow. God will lighten the heartache, the pain. You understand what I'm telling you? God controls the level of things in your life. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the more you become appreciative and grateful, the more he unleashes the good. You get what I'm saying? But when you choose to keep walking on the wrong path, the more He kind of distance. You know what I'm saying? Like he keeps letting those things happen, so you can begin to understand you cannot live this life without Him. You understand what I'm telling you? God is always faithful in what He does and the way He does it. Not only that, He is always on time. You know what I'm saying? So when as you're living your life, you don't know what you might go through in life. You don't know what's in store. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm just saying in good and like there's a lot of good blessings in your life. But there might be sometimes you might get yourself in a situation because you don't know better, right? You don't know how to go about it yet. That's where God is always on time. You know what I'm saying? I say God is always on time. It's just like it's like with that still voice that tells you like, oh, wait just 5 more minutes before you leave the house. That's because God is telling you to wait 5 more minutes because He's preventing something from happening if you would have left those 5 minutes early. You get what I'm telling you? God is always on time. Sometimes we may not see the magnitude of His blessings because they're behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that He allowed you to see is because He's letting you know that He will always show up and show out in your life. He will always be on time for you. God is always on time. God is never late, never early. He's just right on time. He is the one that controls the concept of time and space. You understand what I'm telling you? If God wanted to, He could stop time. He could stop reality. He can erase all of this. But He chooses not to. So let's not get twisted the magnitude how powerful He is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just here to encourage you that whatever it is you're going through, God will never leave you, to forsake you, or just abandon you. That's not who God is. That's not how He gets down or how He rolls. You know what I'm saying? God will always show up on time. Like for me, when I needed a job after I left another one, He was there like that. When money ran out, some way somehow it's either I got like a gift or something. I got another job, or something. It was just like instant. That's God showing up on time. Like if you really wanted like this shirt for something for school, somehow, some way you got it. Always on time. You need to get a certain grade so you can pass. Always on time. When you really take back and really look into your life and the things you've been through, you begin to see how God always was on time. You know what I'm saying? Preventing either something from happening or helping you to get through. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. God is always on time every time. God will never be late. That's why it's so important to never doubt Him. Never doubt the faith you have in Him. You get what I'm saying? God will always be there for you. A lot of people want to put like God as like the universe, or like what you call that, attraction, or they want to they put like all these different labels when deep down they know it's God. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me how people do all these things that they get from the Bible, which, hello, is reference to God and His Son Jesus Christ, but they put other names on it. Like the universe, or like, it was the energy. It was, even though certain things, even though sometimes those things are like, they make sense in reference to God because they got the fundamental of that from the Bible. You get what I'm saying? But they don't go out the way to be like, this is from the Bible. This is where I got the concept from. This is why I understand what I understand. But understand, you cannot take God's glory for your benefit without giving Him praise. You get what I'm telling you? So if you're going to use things from the Bible to help build you up, make sure you giving Him praise and glory and identifying Him in your journey. So when you up in front of the cameras and you're living a better life, let them know this is God. This been God. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's Him showing up in your life, upgrading you, taking you to the next level so you could be the next blessing, the biggest blessing you could possibly be to His people. That's why you have to be in alignment with Him. But some people doubt God because they doubt themselves. That's why it's so important to understand, even though you may feel like you can't show up for yourself, God will never deceive you or leave you. God will always be there for you. Even when I thought God wasn't there, even when I thought God gave up on me, He was always there. You know what I'm telling you? This is what I mean. He is always on time. Always, always, always. He will not leave you nor forsake you. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So if you feeling like you going through something, if you feel like there's no end to it, remember, God is always on time, but you have to have that faith. You have to call upon Him. You have to let go so you can keep your peace, and He will take care of it for you. He won battles over your life long before they even took place. So that's just telling you that you are a winner and He has your back. He will not leave you. That's basically saying, I will show up in your life. I will show up and show out. Because He is always on time. God is never late. You know what I'm saying? God is always on time every time. There's certain things in life we do not comprehend because that's God ordained. That's just like the understanding between Him and how He made everything. And when it comes to like, people passing away, or like that whole, the whole circle of life and stuff like that. But that's what I want to clarify with that. Sometimes things just happen naturally, because of the world and stuff like that. Sometimes people want to take that and want to blame it on God. But I mean, it goes deep. I mean, I could be here for hours and just trying to, But yeah, so I just want to let you know that God is always on time. I was thinking today, another example. I didn't know what to talk about today. I was like, I don't know what topic, what to talk about, what to mention. But next thing you know, He's on time. He showed up and gave me 2 topics to talk about, and here I am. This is why it's so important to have a relationship with Him. You know what I'm saying? You have to build that belief in Him and in yourself on top of the relationship you have. You have to trust Him. Trust Him that He will always be on time. And sometimes we as humans get ancient and desperate because we're so used to the instant gratification of things happening or being outside of control. But sometimes if God is taking a long time to do something, it's because He's preparing a big blessing. If other blessings come quicker, it's because they're smaller. God is not defined by our logic of time and space, of death, of short or long. You get what I'm saying? But certain things God can make like that, but certain things take His time because He got to align the right people, the right time, people, circumstance, situation, and the right gifts that they will come into fruition. You get what I'm telling you? Because that's how He ordained your life to be. He is that powerful. But people limit this thing because they limit their own self. And that's why God only do a certain amount of things in their life, because you keep thinking and believing that because the bigger your faith, the bigger he will work in your life. That's what I'm saying. But the smaller the faith, the small things that will happen in your life. You have to look at God like almighty, like he said, all powerful, the first, the last, the head, not the tail. He can do all things and everything. He's the king, Lord of lords. He can do whatever he want, when he want, how he want. You know what I'm saying? But if you keep limiting what he can do for you, then your life will be a limitation. But you have to break outside that box, that comfort zone, and let God loose in your life. Let God do what he needs to do. Let God manifest and glorify himself in your life. So when people look at you, you are a living testimony that I came from nothing and I have everything because of him. I am because of him. My life is because of him. It's not because of me. It's not because no, it's because of God. And we need to start giving God credit and praise for the mercy he shows us and all that he do for us. Because even though we're not worthy, he looks at us as worth it, because we are his children. Because his son sacrificed his life to save us. You understand what I'm telling you? You have to appreciate the things that he's done, because the world would not exist, or it could be in a worse chaos. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole other topic. But I just want to encourage you that God is always on time. Please do not allow nobody or anything or even what you're going through to make you truly believe that God will not show up and show out. God is faithful. God loves you. And God is always on time. Like I said, all my videos, I love you. God bless you. I thank you. Comment, heart, follow, share, subscribe. Until my next video. Peace. Most importantly, you already know to take the world by storm. Until my next one.